What's good, y'all? It's Abwon, and I am in Brooklyn, New York with Rainne.
Hi.
She's a singer. We met at a networking event with Live the Biz. Shout out to him. So, what part of Brooklyn are we in right now?
We are in Prospect Park South.
Somewhere by Flatbush?
It's like in between Flatbush and Kensington, right underneath Prospect Park.
You can map quiz that. I don't know. I'm a Jersey guy. But, before we jump into this review, just give them a backstory on who you are, what you do, all the good stuff.
I'm Rainne, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I'm a singer-songwriter, grew up singing in church, went to college for music, was classically trained, taught high school chorus for 4 years in North Carolina, and then in 2013 I moved back to Brooklyn to pursue my music career full-time. And I'm getting ready to release my debut EP in about a month. Super excited about that. And yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. Were you in any groups or anything like that? It was just like strictly like a solo thing.
So when I was 12, me and my best friend at the time started a little girl group, and we used to sing at church functions.
What was the name?
I don't even remember. It was so long ago. I'll have to call her up and ask her and see if she even remembers. But I think in high school, we went to 2 separate high schools, and we just banded the group. And, and at that point, like, I knew that I wanted to do music full time, and that wasn't really her goal. So that was
okay, I'm happy you bring that up, because the topic of the video is basically girl groups in general, female R&B groups, whatever you want to call it, girl bands. It is what it is. So you have TLC is a big one. You actually had TLC playing.
Yes.
No, that was SWV.
I've been listening to TLC, SWV, 3LW this whole morning. I've been listening to all the girl groups. There you
go. But my thing is, what do you think happened to them? Because I feel like in the 90s, they were like very prominent. You couldn't turn on The Box or MTV, whatever TV show they had playing music videos when they played music videos, without seeing a girl group on the screen. And you even had Destiny's Child that took the world by storm, and then obviously Beyonce just outgrew the group and just transcended. And now you don't hear about them, but you see biopics. So like, what do you think happened?
Okay, so I need to go back in time further.
Okay.
So the reason why girl groups were even a thing was, when the recording technology first came out, you didn't have multi-tracking. It didn't exist. So if you needed harmony, you needed all the people to be there.
Gotcha.
So you had folks like the Boswell sisters and the Andrews sisters, and they gave rise to later on the Supremes, and all of the girl groups that we came to know. Eventually, when we had multi-tracking, it wasn't really necessary to have the girl groups, but I think they stuck around just for the sake of marketing. Okay. Because what I find to be the allure of the girl group is you have the 3 different personalities. And when little girls look up to the girl groups, they can find themselves in at least one of them. They can relate to one of them. And I think that what's happened is we've realized that it's not so much about like the whole family and sisterhood. Like, it was, what's the word I'm looking for? It was marketed to us as being about family and being about friendship and being about sisterhood. And every time we watch a breakout star lead the group and just do their own thing, it becomes very, very clear that it's not really about the sisterhood.
Yeah, true.
I'm just thinking about a lot of the girl groups in the 90s, and a lot of these songs, they would have been hits if it was a single singer. Because it's just a good song, with the exception of maybe like TLC, because they had the singer and the rapper aspect, so you kind of needed the different personalities there. And even when I think about TLC, it's one of the few girl groups where everyone actually knows the name of each of the members.
Yes, you're right.
Because their personalities were so different. They each brought something very different to the table. You asked me who the members of Brownstone were.
I've never even heard of that group.
They did. I heard it through the grapevine. And
okay. I'm thinking they're talking about like a contemporary group.
No, even from the 90s. Like very few people actually can tell you the names of the artists unless it was marketed in such a way that there was like this emphasis on the different personalities.
People only know, like just like you said, Destiny's Child. People only know Kelly, Beyonce, obviously, and I feel like, no disrespect to her, I feel like the only reason why people know Michelle is because she's like a meme. Like people feel like she's just like the pariah of the group.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, that time that Beyonce let Michelle sing backup, and I'm just like.
And even if you look at the original 4 members of Destiny's Child, unless you were like listening to them heavy when they came out, most people can't name the other members.
You know, that original, you're talking about LaToya Luckett or before LaToya?
No, with LaToya. I didn't know it was before that. So there's Latavia, there's LaToya, and then I think when they first kicked them out.
Who? Latavia?
Yeah, you don't see? That's exactly my point.
My brother was dating like one of the early members in the group, but like she had like the streak, like the blonde streak in her hair that was like green, and I think I saw her in like one video, and after that I never saw her again.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that might have been
Latavia. I think that's Latavia.
She has a very round face.
Yes.
That might have been her.
Yeah.
That might have been her. So, but shout out to LaToya. She's in that Greenleaf show. I don't watch that, but I know people that do. Shout out to her. She's in that show. Shout out to Kelly Rowland. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? These guys still have, these women still have careers even after Beyonce, the Beyonce takeover.
Yes.
So, but it is what it is.
I do think the other thing that took away from the picture of sisterhood was the rise of all of these reality shows.
Yes.
Where like you would like throw together a band, and then like especially because those bands didn't last. Like none of those groups like really lasted because like we saw them being manufactured.
Yeah.
And we got a chance to just like take a peek into what was really going on and just seeing that.
They don't even like each other as human beings. Like they're not gonna like each other for money. So. And
then the other thing that I thought about with the whole girl group thing is because I was asked to be a member of a girl group. Somebody reached out to me on somebody's social media and was like, "Hey, here's this girl group that I'm managing. Do you want to be a part of it?" And I think that these days independent artists are a lot more clear on what their message is. So, like, I'm very clear on what my message is. So when I'm looking at this girl group, I'm like, that's not really aligned with what I'm trying to put into the world. So it doesn't make sense for me to join a group just for the sake of joining a group. And then when you think about the business side, the more people are in the group, that's the more different ways the pie has to be split up. It just doesn't make financial sense.
Yep.
And then, like I was saying before, with the technology we have today, you don't need all these people to create harmony. Do multi-tracking, sing your own backup.
You bring up a very good point too, because I think one of the sisterhood thing definitely, excuse me, is definitely important along with the whole rise of reality TV, which is poison. But I think the business side has forced groups as a whole to crumble, not just female groups. Because if you even look at Outkast, Mobb Deep, well, no, rest in peace to Prodigy, Dipset. Like groups as a whole that were even, you could probably even throw Wu-Tang in there too. When the business ain't right, then all of a sudden you forget about those days that you were struggling when you were coming up, trying to make these moves, and now I'm not really messing with them. And then they try to label it as creative differences, but we know what it is. We know what it is.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, these groups are manufactured, and then eventually I feel like the egos get big, they start tasting success, and then all of a sudden these guys are just out of control. The manager can't manage all of those personalities, and it's like you try to do it for the greater good of the group, but it just doesn't work.
And then as you were mentioning the whole ego thing, we've all seen that most of these groups, whether they're girl groups or guy groups, there's one breakout star. There's the lead, and then there are the background
others.
singers, the others. And there are some people who are very comfortable with just being in the background, and they're just like, you don't have to know my name. I'm just here for the music. If I can make some money along the ride and have some fun, I'm here for it. But if you have 3 people who all have Beyonce ambitions, and you put them all in the group, and there can only be one Beyonce, like, people gonna start feeling some type of way.
The clash.
Yeah.
The clash. It is what it is. Who did you grow up listening to in music?
TLC, SWV. I say those are the big group influences.
So, last question before we jump to what you got going on. Is there a guilty pleasure artist that you listen to?
Cardi B.
Woo! I need to know why.
It's very interesting because I feel like the artistic community is very torn on Cardi B. And
why do you think that is?
Because if you compare her to like a solid MC, like say Lauryn Hill in her prime.
Okay.
There's just no comparison there.
You're right. You're right. I get that. You're right. But this is such a good topic. I could use this for like another video, but we're gonna talk about it now. I feel like Cardi B is talented, yes, but I feel like Cardi B is loved more for the fact that she's entertaining.
Yes, Cardi B is very entertaining, and she's raw, she's real. You never know what's gonna come out of her mouth. You know that, or you don't believe that it's scripted. Whether or not it is, we don't know. True. Well, like, just the authenticity shines through, and like, she's just ratchet and she does not care. And what's also interesting about Cardi B is that she still spits wisdom, even in all her wretchedness. Like, there are some things that she says and you're just like, that makes sense. I agree with you. And I noticed with Cardi B, like, although Cardi B stays on brand.
So Cindy, I'm gonna just give you the floor right now. Give them, tell them about yourself, whatever projects you got coming, your social media, all that good stuff. This is all for you.
Okay, so I am releasing my debut EP. It's called The Mask on October 19th. And it is a culmination of the past 6 years of work. I started writing the first song of this EP in 2012 and finished writing the last song in 2015. And it's really just like peeling back all of the layers. Just trying to figure out who I really was, like coming into womanhood. Like when I strip away what everyone has told me I'm supposed to be for my entire life. Like what's really underneath there. And it's just all about like figuring out the balance. So, sometimes it's sassy, sometimes it's like strong, sometimes it's insecure, sometimes it's like weakness, and just like coming to terms with all of these different sides of me and how they play out. When I finished writing, I reached out to an amazing producer out in England named Blair McKitchen, and in 2015 I did this huge $20,000 crowdfunding campaign, recorded the album out there, and when I came back I had some things that I needed to clean up with it. So it's finally done, finally ready to release it. Super, 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 super excited. And on October 20th is the release party / show. So I will be in, it'll be in East Williamsburg at Legendary Republic. I've got a full band, I've got background singers, I've got special guests, and then I'm gonna perform the entire EP. I'm also got a DJ coming. We're gonna, party Brooklyn Bashment style. Everyone's invited.
That includes you guys.
Yes, that includes you. You should definitely be there. So like this is the birth of my baby into the world. It's been a long time coming. Like I was telling you, I had this dream of being a singer since I was like 12. Like that's when I knew it was happening. And now many years later, like this is actually coming forth.
That's good. So
excited. And you can find me on all the social media at Cindy Rainne, CindyRainne, on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat. But I'm on Facebook and Instagram more than the other two.
Well, that's Cindy Rainne for y'all. Make sure y'all check it out. I heard one of her records at the networking event. Like I said before, very positive music. I feel like we need a lot more of that, especially for the youth. Because right now, the poison, nah. I'm tired of seeing young girls out here twerking. Like, come on, cut it out. Check her out. Check out her EP. Go to her show. All that good stuff. I'll leave all the links in the description where you can reach her. We can reach myself as well. As always, don't forget to subscribe. I always got all types of content coming for y'all. Everything. All right, that's pretty much it, y'all. We out of here.
Took a look in the mirror, noticing my smile. Had to stop for a second, I caught my own eye. Waved goodbye to that scared little girl. Now I really feel like I can conquer the world.